day number 1 of back on my sleeping cycle. I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I am a lot worse at this sleeping thing than I used to be. I used to be able to run, basically get up at 2 and not really nap for like 3 days. I'd get a solid 3 days in, burn my batteries down, and then I'd be tired, and then I'd end up sleeping over, or I'd fall into my naps. This morning though, I woke up and I was so tired. I struggled to get out of bed, got up, only had like half of my about an hour and a half to 3 hours of productive work time. Usually the first couple of days of doing it are the most productive, so that's not good. Either getting old or work is like at that level of hard / stressful where it just like drains me more than it used to. But I don't see it being that much harder or more stressful than it was like in November. So, but that's what Laura thinks. I think I'm getting old. Otherwise, I've now hooked up my GraphQL endpoint in Azure Functions, and all I need to do now is build the API to actually like poll Mongo. So that's my next trick. I did a little bit of work setting up my laptop Atlas again because I don't have anything installed still. So I basically just downloaded all my code, set up Blender. I haven't used it yet, but I've set up Blender to edit my videos with. I'm gonna try it. You never know. Way OTT for what I use it for, but it's free, basically, and it's newer and better, more up to date than the software that I currently had, which was Adobe Premiere Elements 9, which is ancient. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that there aren't any other good like free video editors. You have to go for something like Blender to get even like basic video editing. I miss the days of Movie Maker, man. Movie Maker was the perfect tool for this vlog. But having said that, if this doesn't work, I might genuinely consider getting a command line video editor just to compile the videos together, essentially. That's all I do, apart from put the date time in the bottom corner. Naps are going pretty well for the first day, although obviously not as good as normal when you're in the swing of it. But we've had a pretty good day today. Do you remember me saying in my most recent video about how I've thrown a grenade into the centre of the system and watched the ripple effect just like rip through the entire thing? Today basically we figured out towards the end of the day that we hadn't used a big enough bomb. So today I've been like, my task for the next couple of days is essentially to litter the entire thing with lots of smaller bombs or bigger bombs and then just rip the whole thing to shreds. So that's the plan. It's one of those things where like you start to focus in on it, and the more you start to focus in on it, you get blind to everything else, and you have to just kind of step back and be like, what the fuck am I doing again, boys? Kept going like around and around the houses and whatnot, and we're there now. I think we're there. Otherwise, I was waiting for Laura. Laura got back late, and then we watched The Sinner, which we're watching at the moment, which is really good, and sorted out some admin stuff, just firing off some emails to do with things. I need to I'll put that on my to-do list. Thank you for reminding me. Plan of attack is get up at 2, churn through. I was doing some defining my graph API for my web, my blog stuff. So I just need to figure out how to do paging. That's my task. I've got like get all. I want paging version of it. So, and then I'm gonna smash that into like essentially a search or sort by most recent updates. You know. Bed. I didn't bring my longboard today, but this rain was. I'm woefully unprepared for this rain. Look at this brutality, look. They're sharing an umbrella and she's holding it in her right hand while she's on her left. Get burned. Didn't even like make an effort to put it in the middle to keep them both dry. What's that all about, man? A productive night last night, but I feel like today something is in the air. I can feel like today is just going to get derailed. We'll find out. I've got one meeting in my calendar and I'm expecting that to just like quadruple. Fortunately, I was wrong about the derailment. It had potential to, but fortunately not. There were quite a lot of meetings, but they were actually relatively productive ones. 3 additional ones to the one. 2 additional ones to the one I was expecting. Otherwise, I had a pretty solid day of just like running at it hard. The problem that I've got, and I'm like just kind of stripping it out, trying to figure out. It's effectively like completely moving an entire part of the system somewhere else so that we can extend a different it's more or less 2 things got built in the same place where they shouldn't be, and they're 2 very separate, distinct things, and we wanted to extend one of those two things, but because the other one is in the same place, it was just fucking hellish. So I'm separating them out, because it logically makes sense to separate them out, so that I can extend the one that I want to care about. That's the plan. I'm nearly done. Well, I've done everything that I can do without launching the grenade in, to fully rip it apart. But so at the moment I've traced through the system, trying to figure out in what scenario we want this one, in what scenario we want A, what scenario we want B, all that kind of shit. So I'm there. Tomorrow is going to be a day of just literally like head down and do it. I'm working from home tomorrow to just try and like distill distractions and shit. So that's my plan of attack for tomorrow. Otherwise, we've had an evening of some admin. I had a nap. Had some good naps today. Lunchtime nap was our meeting, 5-minute gap, 50-minute meeting, literally left, got my pillow out, 30 minutes head down, bang, nap, wake up, hour meeting, literally like back to back to back. It was great. And then I had a nap when I came home as well. That's good too. So it's going well so far. Although obviously I've not woken up yet. But I've had a relatively chilled out evening because I know I'm working from home tomorrow, so I don't want to like burn out essentially. It's something I think I can be pretty good at. I can be pretty rational at. Is, as much as it looks like I work ridiculously, is figuring out how not to burn out and what to do when and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway. It's a lovely weather out today. It's not actually all that dry. It does keep raining, but it does look nice outside there. Look at them clouds. Working from home today, and I'm just making myself a little brew. I've been working on the thing I'm working on at the moment. I've been working on it for quite a long time, like a good 2 solid days at work, although obviously with interruptions. Hoping that with a solid day today I can get it to parity with what it used to be and extendable. At the moment it's what it used to be and not extendable. I've been making it extendable but doing that as broken stuff. So that's my plan of attack for the day, but it's also something that I've been like, it's blocking other things, other important things that we want to get through, and we're starting to pick up things that are less important. So I've been doing work when I'm normally doing like my own project work, and so I've been like doing that in the evenings, when in the evening I mean 2 o'clock in the morning, and also the other time, or like this morning and stuff. And I'm trying to like pace myself today so I don't burn out, because obviously like I effectively did loads last night in that room, more in that room. Normally like the break of going to the office is like, I'm already feeling, and I know I can feel it because I need a cup of tea. I need a cup of tea, and it's not even 10:30. I normally have a cup of tea at like 11:30, 11:30. And then I go because someone else has asked whether I want one, rather than because I'm like, I need one. So it's going to be a long day of staring at the same shit trying to get it working. I think I've got all the back end working. I just need to reintegrate the front end with some of the API changes to facilitate what it is I've changed. And then, in theory, it should just work. There might be some mappings I've missed, but it should just work. And I should be able to run the regression suite and it will like just fall into place, is the idea. But you never know, do you? I started work this morning. Maybe that's it actually, because I started work this morning when I normally start my commute. So I started like an hour earlier. And maybe that is why I'm now like an hour early, needing a cup of tea and needing a break, needing to step away. Because effectively it's nearly nap time, it's nearly lunchtime in hours of work time done. I don't know. So I'm just having a little breather, cup of tea, step away. It's also really important. I was just making a change and I'm like, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this change. Slack someone. I'm like, here's what I'm doing. Do you have any reservations to that? And then as I type that, press enter, I'm like, oh, because actually I could do this. Bang, figured it out. You just need to step back, refresh. Because the problem is that the more you focus in on something, the less you see, effectively, and you make bad choices in life. I'm going mad. Distance from the office doesn't seem to be helping me get out of being pestered. And I'm so fucking sick of mappers and Oh god, this fucking change, man. It's horrendous. Oh. I've already had my nap and whatnot. It's the afternoon. It's 4:30 now, but I wanted so much more done today. It's just a fucking rat's nest of just shit. It's like just poking. It's literally like poking a rat's nest and just watching them all scamper out. Fucking hell. I just lost all fucking motivation, boys. 5. I was gonna do work until Laura came back, essentially, but because I know. Oh well, actually, she should be back earlier than she thought she would. But she was expecting to come back late, and I was like, I'll carry on working. But God, fuck that for a laugh. Consider myself burnt out on this shit. I'm gonna chill, and then I'm gonna have a nap later. I just want to do something different. I don't even want to. I might play Xbox, but I could just do some of my own programming. But God, I need an hour out. Played some Xbox, played some Rayman, and then I had a nap, and then met Laura on the path. She was cycling back from work, and I was longboarding down. Met her, came back up here. We had some dinner, played some more Rayman. Just finished watching the assassination of Giovanni Versace thing, which was good. And then Laura fell asleep while we watched some YouTube videos, and now I went to bed. It's 10:30. I'm going to bed. I'm like struggling. I'm bleary-eyed. I'm assuming that I'm not going to have a productive morning this morning. My assumption, just like a finger in the air guess. Not only because I don't exactly know what to do in that time, you know. I don't actually know like whether I do work, whether I do blog work, whether I'll do actual project work, who knows. But I'm feeling like I'm going to be very tired. I think this is going to be this is the test. I'm at the wall. I'm like, I've had 3 good naps today, but I'm like at the wall, and then if I just get up tomorrow, all will be grand. That light bulb's gone, and I don't remember my alarm going off last night, so my alarm went off at 6, and I was fucking tired. So, and my alarm had moved across the room because it's the other side of the room. So I obviously woke up, moved it to the other side of the room, turned it off, went back to sleep. It's a very wet and miserable day today, boy. But good news in the fact that, well, semi-good news, semi-bad news. It's taken me about 3 months. It's about around New Year, Christmas. I became relatively obsessed with Post Malone and Post Malone songs. It's completely different to any other kind of music I like. But Spotify does not understand that. It does not. It just assumes that because I like Post Malone, I must like all kinds of rap. And since listening to Post Malone, admittedly on repeat, it's just recommended nothing but trash rap music. And I've just managed to train it back into giving me like 50-50 trash. 50 trash, 50% good stuff. And now Post Malone's dropped a new album, and I'm like, fuck. Also, dropped Jamie? What are you? Jesus. It's probably going to take me another 3 months to get my Discover Weekly out of the gutter. Another pretty painful day of trying to get this fucking refactor in. Although we saw some pages broken, but we saw some. It feels like we're close, but it feels like running a marathon on like a 500-meter circuit, and there's no way of knowing how many laps we've done. Or you don't know how big the circle is, and you don't know how many laps you've done, you don't know how many more you've got to do, or anything like that, or how fast you're going, or anything. Still kept on top of my naps today, even though, well, obviously not my morning nap, because I had a very long morning nap, even though I haven't thingied, because this is kind of like why I've been struggling to get into it, because I get to a day where I sleep. I've known that's been broken all day, and that must be the 10,000th time I've turned that on and been disappointed. I need to go to the shop. You know, one of them days where you're like, I need to go to the shop for something, and I can't for the life of me remember what that thing was. God damn it. So, either way, as you may know, I've been struggling to get into my sleeping pattern basically since Christmas, and this essentially happens to me all the time. I get to like day 4, sleep all the way through for whatever reason, and then effectively give up because it normally lines up with the weekend, and it just kind of shits the bed at that point. Because, and then it did it. The weekend is an awkward time to do the sleep pattern anyway, because of like, normally at the weekend when you do things over lunch. When do I sleep? Over lunch. So, but I've tried to keep up with it, so hopefully I'll be able to get up at 2. However, I've been feeling like, I felt literally since dinner really queasy. Like, almost like breathing makes me feel ill. You know? I don't know what that's all about. But otherwise, we've had a pretty... What's the time change on the thing? On the TV, it just went from 20:42 to 10:42. What's happening, man? Yeah, so I had a pretty chill evening. We had nachos for dinner, which were delicious, and then a pudding. And then we watched The Crown and Gogglebox, Living the Dream, and I heading off to bed. Yeah, what's planned this weekend? What are we doing this weekend? I don't think we have plans, and I think it's raining. Formula 1 is on, so I want to watch Formula 1. Otherwise, that's about it. I'm thinking when I get up in the morning, I'm going to do some work on my blog stuff, and then when I get up really early in the morning, like at 6, when I wake up after my first nap, I'm going to get Atlas up and running with my project again, which I haven't done yet, and potentially some video editing. Because this is my second memory card now, and I haven't like looked at any, I haven't edited the video yet from when we first did when my hard drive broke. So the first video that wasn't lost in that, I haven't edited that yet. So I'm very far behind. I'm still deliberately far behind, to be honest with you, but hopefully we'll be able to catch up soon. It's taken slightly longer to catch up than I thought it would be. So mostly because the process has taken so long, and also because I'm not finding the time to edit because I'm so far behind. It's very difficult to reset, you know? Daily vlogging is very much about routine. And if you are out of a routine, you're not very good at it. And if I'm out of a routine of actually producing the video, I'm probably out of the routine of actually making the video, or even making it in any way, shape or form entertaining. So there's that. It's a bit like how I used to talk a lot more in my videos because I was in the routine of doing that effectively. When it was daily, of course, I could do 20-minute videos every day. No problem. On a serious note, what the fuck did I used to talk about? God damn. And fucking waking up, man. God damn it. Otherwise, so today we've got a new light bulb. That's cool. We had a pretty chilled out day today. We watched some Formula 1. I'm trying to get into Formula 1 this year. I think I've said that before. Did a little bit of programming, trying to figure out how to do pagination with GraphQL. It's kind of weird. It talks about cursors. I'm like, I don't really understand where you get your cursor from. Everyone's like, I just use a cursor. I'm like, what is the cursor? Is it an ID? But if I've got an ID and then my ID, if I like delete it, then what does it do? Don't know. Head on out to IKEA to try and figure out if we could find some kind of furniture. I feel like this light's really bright. See if we could get some furniture, or figure out what it is we want. That's about it. It's been a quiet day. It's been a quiet, chilled out, relaxed day. We didn't watch The Sinner, finished The Sinner, watched the last 2 episodes, because it was so good that Laura binge watched the last episode. She never watches 2 of the same episode in a row, so that's insane. It's fucking weird as hell, but it's good, so to watch it. What, as someone who doesn't really like or follow sport, Formula 1 is fucking bang on this year. It's so good. Like, if you didn't watch the race, my belt is jangling. Usually, for the past, I used to always watch Formula 1 as a kid, and then I kind of gave up when I went to university, and or, like, you could only watch half the season because Sky bought half of the episodes. Now, I'm trying to get back into it again. And it's bloody brilliant. Usually, the past couple of past couple of years, there's been like one car that's just kind of stormed away. So like last year, the Mercedes were just like so much faster than everyone else for the first half of the season. It was really fucking boring. And then towards the end, it started to kick up a bit. This year though, Ferrari and Mercedes are like basically dead on for speed. They're like just tit for tat based on the speed. I think Mercedes is technically quicker, like flat out, but the Ferrari is quicker around corners and shit. The Red Bulls aren't as quick, but they're fucking competitive, and they're like they've won on tactics and shit like that basically. But the race, the race was so good. There was like 2 safety cars, and it was we thought it was going to end on a safety car. Wow. So basically, right, they're racing along, they're doing their thing. Raikkonen crashed in the first lap, and then went to the back of the pack and got new tyres on the first lap. They race, basically boring, for the majority of it. You got Vettel, Bottas, and Hamilton at the top. Raikkonen starts to like bump up the thing, but then you got the two Red Bulls, and the two Red Bulls are fucking going at it. They are racing each other to no end, like literally like wall to wall, basically making contact with each other the entire race and their teammates. And then it gets to the end, and then you've got like Bottas at the front who needs a safety car. But he needs to pit stop or have a safety car. If he pit stops, it's going to be a race between him and Hamilton. Otherwise, Vettel's going to win. If there's a safety car, he's in with a chance. Just going for as long as he possibly can do until the Red Bulls take each other out. Like literally, Ricciardo just fucking drives right into the back of Verstappen. It was literally insane. Like it was like jump out your chair, insane. He pits. Now the top lineup is what is it? Bottas, Vettel, Hamilton, Raikkonen, and then I think like someone like Perez or whatever, Sainz. And it's like safety lap, and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna have to restart the race, whatever. It's not gonna take too long. Then some fucking dick crashes in a safety car. They have to remove the car from the track. You're like, we're gonna finish this in a safety car. It's gonna be so boring. Dad, pissed off out. He's obviously not here, but he stopped watching it. I'm just kind of like half watching it, and then they remove the safety car. Then we found out they're going to remove the safety car. You're like, oh shit, this is going to be good. So they've got like 3 or 4 laps worth of racing, and then they remove the safety car. Vettel fucking bins it on the first corner after the safety car, and then so it's Bottas, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Perez, and Vettel at the back because he got a bit cocky and went down the front line, fucked it, right? Driving around. Next lap, Bottas gets a puncture on some debris on the track, so Hamilton fucking win. It was so good. It was the fucking best race I've seen in a bloody long time. Bloody excited. I don't know if I've mentioned, but this year me and Dad are going to go watch it at Silverstone. Dad got me tickets for Christmas, and he got himself tickets for Christmas as well, to go watch the Formula 1 at Silverstone in a couple of months' time, and fucking looking forward to it. It's going to be so good. Otherwise though, today, apart from watching Formula 1, I managed to get my head around some GraphQL stuff, my pagination. I was trying to figure out that stuff because the cursors are a bit weird, but essentially the cursors, what I'm going to do is have a cursor being a base encoded date time, effectively. Base 64 encoded date time, and then works like a tree. I couldn't figure out whether or not I was supposed to do like an ID or anything like that, but daytimes, that's the boy. Sorted that out, helped Laura out with some stuff. We went out for a walk in the countryside a bit, had some dinner, normal Sunday chores, ironing, all that shit. Gonna work tomorrow, so for one more day and we'll end the video tomorrow. We're getting used to this light, it's very bright in here. It's insane. To longboard to and from work today. Well, not all the way, but from the park and ride. And at some point, I must have run over some kind of like goose shit or something, and it flicked up on my trousers. And that wasn't pleasant. I don't remember it either. I just got to work and was like, oh, what's that mess there? And I'm like, god damn, my hands stink. Otherwise, Laura is at end of financial year drinks or something like that at work. So I've had my own dinner, which actually, while it's on my mind, I've recently bit the bullet and I spend an extra something like 5 or 10 pence per bag more on rigatoni, and it's fucking so much better, man. It's unbelievable. But yeah, otherwise I've just kind of had my own dinner and I was kind of waiting till about the normal time we normally leave to Sainsbury's, which is like just before 8. Just in case Laura will become free. She just wants to come. But she's not going to become free, so let's bounce on the shopping. Easy peasy on your own, and also proved that I still got it. You know what I mean? Proved I still got it as I climbed the stairs up to the flat in one trip. Entire week's worth of shopping for 2 people. Got everyone on this arm, which is like literally like, you know the advert where it's like men do it in one trip or whatever it was. I don't know what advert that was. Probably like Man Crisps or something. McCoy's. They're just like holding a shitload of bags, like, it's like, rrr. So there's that. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to end the video here, ladies and gentlemen. I think I mentioned to you, I mentioned this out loud. I'm considering swapping sleep cycle to just like staying up late instead of getting up. because I'm just not very good at it anymore, basically. I feel like I'm just too stressed and I'm like too close to burning out on things to do it. But I'm going to try it one more time tonight, I think. What I need to do, to be honest with you, is get back into programming again. Which seems weird to say. Is it worth it with a bank holiday weekend coming? Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. I'll figure it out and let you tomorrow. I'll catch you later.